GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP, your government has never looked worse. Yatin Oza, also of the BJP senior advocate, had run out of arguments yesterday. Let's see if he has any left today. Salman Soz of the Congress party, Kumar Ketkar, senior journalist, General B.S. Jaswal is appalled at what Ved Pratap Vaidik has done. We all are, sir. Madhukar Jaitley is an advisor to the government of UP from the Samajwadi Party, and Maruf Raza joins us from London. Let's begin, gentlemen. Mr. Narasimha Rao, can you tell us the name of the news channel or newspaper that Ved Pratap Vaidik was interviewing, what he says, Hafiz Saeed for?
I think the real issue is...
No, can you tell me the name of the news channel or newspaper or magazine or publication that Ved Pratap Vaidik was interviewing Hafiz Saeed for? Because you have used that line in our defense in Parliament and across the entire country, saying he's doing it as a journalist. Whereas he goes there and flaunts connections. Salman Soz are free. It is an open debate. You are free to come in. Do you know the name of the channel or newspaper that he's interviewing Hafiz Saeed for?
Let me answer this question. You are keeping the entire focus on Mr. Ved Prakash Vaidik.
I am not using
the larger question.
I am asking
the entire delegation. No, please listen to me. This is the larger question is all the institute which has called the delegation from India has an ISI domination. And this has one of the board of governors, Mr. Manishankar Ayer is one of the board of governors. This has 2 Congress members in the delegation. There is no representation of the BJP or NDA in this group. And this is a hate brigade, hate Modi brigade. I can tell you of the 13, 14 members, I don't wish to take names.
Take the names.
I have put it out on my Twitter.
Take the names. Who are the names?
Read and make their own conclusions.
Who are these people who have travelled on what you call is an ISI-sponsored initiative? How do you know it's an ISI-sponsored initiative?
This is, please, for God's sake, please discuss what is this Regional Peace Institute. This has as co-chairman, ex-ISI chief, who is a co-chairman of this institute. Of the 13 governors, board of governors, another board of governor is also a former ISI chief. So this has
so why don't you take action against these people?
Pakistani nationals, top Pakistani. No, I want to know. This is being billed as a bilateral summit. So whose sanction has this? This cannot be a bilateral summit. There is no representation from the government or even from the ruling regime. The real questions have to be answered by the Congress party.
Mr. Rao, I must... No, 1 second. Mr. Rao, 1 minute.
No, I think you
No, Mr. Rao, 1 minute. No, Mr. Rao, 1 minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. First of all, Mr. Rao, just a minute, please. First of all, that was not the question that was put to you. If you feel that all these 11, 12, 13 people, and I don't know who they are, but I am told...
Why are we ignoring the larger question?
Mr.
The Congress party is not in a position to raise questions. They need to give answers. Why is Mr. Manishankar Ayer on the board of governors? Why has he led a delegation? Why is an ex-foreign minister a member of that delegation? Why does it comprise of hate Modi brigade? So you can, by no stretch of imagination, can any member of this group be representing the government or Mr. Modi? That's his ridiculous proposition.
So can you tell me? No, that's not the question. The question is, and you're not answering the question. The question is simple.
He cannot answer
the question. Is, can you? No, 1 minute, Mr. Rao, no, don't raise your voice.
Please raise the right question.
It's an open debate. Others are free to come in.
No.
Others are free to come in.
I want to come in.
My question was one. No, 1 second, Salman. My question was one. This government,
Congress is raising
1 second, sir, on the floor of the Indian Parliament, this government hides behind Ved Pratap Vaidik ridiculous "I am a journalist" line to say we can't get involved in what a journalist does. I am asking you, on what basis have you accepted that claim? Which channel, which newspaper, which magazine, which media organization, under which accreditation can you tell me Ved Pratap Vaidik was there as a journalist meeting Hafiz Saeed? And if you don't have that information, on what basis are you making that argument in Parliament? Maruf Raza wants to come in, and so does Salman Soz. The others are coming into the debate. Salman Soz first. Salman Soz first.
If Mr. Rao will let others speak
anti-government
you had your turn.
delegation.
Salman Soz first, Mr. Rao, calm down. Salman Soz.
Yeah. Mr. Rao has no answers. The BJP has no answers. This pseudo-nationalist party.
No, please answer
this
the questions that I have raised.
pseudo-decisive
Larger
government,
questions.
They're neither nationalistic and they're indecisive. In 2 days' time, they've come up with no clear answer on the question surrounding Mr. Vaidik's visit to Pakistan. His visit to his meeting with Hafiz Saeed. There have no real answers. And please let me finish. I did not interrupt you. On January 5,
don't you think the Board of Governors, which comprises two...
Sir, you don't try and change the subject.
Let the people of India listen. In Talkadora Stadium, he made a 12-minute speech, Mr. Vaidik did. Please, Mr. Rao, please let me speak. Mr. Vaidik made a 12-minute speech full of praise for Narendra Bhai Modi, who he called his mitra, his friend. And he proceeded to say how Mr. Modi would put together a mega SARC, 16 countries, and Mr. Modi would be leading that mega SARC. On April 25th, on Times Now, when Baba Ramdev talked about honeymoon of Dalit girls, who represented Baba Ramdev?
You are digressing from the subject. I have raised the question. Why
and by the way, the BJP was absent then in the debate. And I know, Arnab, you asked the question, where is the BJP? And I asked the question, where is the BJP when Mr. Vaidik, who is clearly linked to the PMO, if you look at this, International Foundation,
Mr. Salman Soz, Mr. Soz, my next question is, 1 second, gentlemen, my next question is simple. 1 second. My first question goes unanswered. My first question goes unanswered. Maruf comes into the debate. Yatin Oza, you are free to come in, but my first question goes unanswered. Do you know the name of the newspaper or channel or magazine that this man was interviewing Hafiz Saeed for?
No.
No, Mr. Rao, 1 minute, let the others come in, Mr. Rao.
It does not matter.
Let the others come in. Of course it matters, Mr. Rao. Please do not interrupt now. Let the others come in. Let the others come into the debate as well. My next question is this, Maruf. If Vaidik was claiming to be close to the Narendra Modi government and to Narendra Modi in Pakistan, was he speaking the truth or misrepresenting? Yatin Oza, you want to answer that? Was he speaking the truth or misrepresenting? That he is close to the Modi government, that he is close to Modi. I can't hear you, sir.
First of all, let me tell you, there are 1,000 people who claim closeness and proximity.
Arnab, can I answer that?
No.
That doesn't mean that Narendra Modi accepts that proximity or closeness. One. So anybody in this country nowadays has become a fashion that I am close to Mr. Modi.
Mr. Oza, that's not a complete answer.
That for Mr. Modi.
That's not a complete answer. You can't get away by saying that.
I don't want to argue.
Mr. Oza, it's not a complete answer because Mr. Oza, understand the point. There are two arguments. No, he can. When he says on Pakistan TV channels, I will talk to Modi. 1 second, sir.
For a change, I fall in line with you. That as a journalist, he must disclose for whom he had gone, or is he the owner of any of the media, print, electronic or otherwise.
But has he given a name?
Agree.
Has he given a name so far, Mr. Oza? If he's not given a name, how does the BJP government use that excuse to get away?
You cannot hold government or BJP responsible.
Why not?
One, he's going and meeting Hafiz Saeed as a journalist cannot be questioned. But his today's statement of giving self-determination to Kashmir is, I think,
Mr. Oza, 1 minute. Kumar Ketkar wanted to come in. Before that, I want to get Maruf Raza in.
I am saying that he cannot be pardoned.
Sir.
He cannot be pardoned, and he has to be dealt with
Sir, your government has not dealt with him at all. Sir, your BJP government has not dealt with him at all.
That aspersions are being made against the government and the Prime Minister. That's the only objectionable part. Otherwise, his conduct does require...
Mr. Oza, Maruf Raza now coming into the debate. I am, more and more people are becoming suspicious that because Ved Pratap Vaidik is some kind of guide, associate or Baba Ramdev, that's why he's being let off. I don't think anybody else, the government would have acted. Maruf from London. Maruf, go ahead.
Arnab, I just want to make 2 quick points. The first is, I think the damage that Mr. Vaidik has done to India's position by suggesting to Hafiz Saeed and the world at large that India is trying to seek a kind of a compromise exit for him as against the hardline position that we've had since 26/11 is going to send a message to the international community, particularly the United States, which has tried to start it to turn the news on LET and Hafiz Saeed, to think that there are elements in the Indian establishment who are open to a dialogue with Hafiz Saeed, which is clearly not the case. And the second damage that he's done to India's position is by suggesting that independence is a clearly acceptable option to New Delhi. Not only it's unacceptable to New Delhi because it goes outside the constitutional framework, but it's also not acceptable to the hardline establishment in Pakistan, which patronizes Hafiz Saeed and many others. So the question that really emerges is that under whose brief was Mr. Vaidik working on such a large mandate, if at all? And is he in the correct state of mind to try, as Mr. Oza has brought out and others, to say that, yes, I will get your message across to the powers that be, and Mr. Oza is saying clearly that is not the case. If not, then how was the man so emboldened to make such a strong two policy statements which compromise India's negotiating position vis-a-vis Pakistan? I think that is the central point of this whole debate.
It is unpardonable. It cannot be taken. One cannot take it lightly. And he has to be
Mr. Oza, it is not. No. What is unpardonable?
The government or the Prime
what is
Minister
unpardonable, and what the BJP has done?
He is neither sponsored nor told nor was sent as an emissary.
What is unpardonable? What is unpardonable is that the BJP did the maximum big talk on terror. But when it comes to walking the talk, you have scampered away.
Then how was he saying all these things? Then how was he saying all these things?
You have scampered away and you have let a man close to Baba Ramdev get away. I don't understand this. Just because he's close to Baba Ramdev.
I want to make one point very clear.
Sir, Mr. Oza.
I want to make one point very clear.
Mr. Oza.
BJP has been to power not with the aid of anybody excepting name of Mr. Narendra Modi.
Sir, Mr. Oza, that's irrelevant. I'm not interested in that. That's not the issue. Narendra Modi has not acted against him. Kumar Ketkar coming to the debate. In the given situation, Kumar Ketkar, my question is very simple. If tomorrow, no, one second. Mr. Oza, let others come in. Mr. Oza, 1 minute. Mr. Oza,
has to be dealt with ruthlessly.
Mr. Oza, you can keep saying that. You see, we believe in action, Mr. Oza. You can keep saying dealt with ruthlessly. The fact is, your government does not even have the courage to deal with this man with kid gloves. Your government is so scared of Baba Ramdev. Your government is so scared of Baba Ramdev, I don't know why. Maybe because the BJP is obliged to Baba Ramdev for the political support that Baba Ramdev gave it. Tomorrow, my question is, 257 people died. Mr. Oza, listen to me.
Nobody who has asked
Mr. Oza,
openly says that
Mr. Oza, listen to me. And Madhukar Jaitley, General Jaswal and Kumar Ketkar, feel free to come in. 257 people died. More than 700 others were injured when Dawood Ibrahim carried out the 1993 Mumbai serial bombings. By this argument, General Jaswal, tomorrow a separatist can go and meet Dawood Ibrahim, or for that matter, this man called Ved Pratap Vaidik can go and have a meeting with him, ask him how many wives he has, what he will do if Narendra Modi comes to Pakistan, and talk such rubbish and come back and say, I was just having a meeting with him as a journalist. So tomorrow, by the logic, this government will even allow meetings with Dawood Ibrahim if people say we are doing it on an individual capacity. Madhukar Jaitley wanted to come in. Kumar Ketkar. Yes, Kumar Ketkar. Kumar Ketkar, please.
Actually, Arnab, it is a very simple point. Arnab, it's a very simple point. Any press conference, people are asked, who do you represent?
Yes.
Did Vaidik clear himself as representing whom as a journalist?
We don't
BJP
know.
Has accepted him as a journalist.
Yes.
In fact, the statements made in the parliament today said that it was a misadventure of a journalist. Now, journalist from whom, for which channel, for which newspaper is not made clear. Point number 2. is that it is easier to meet, I have gone to Pakistan 4 times, it is easier to meet Prime Minister to President. It is not so easy to meet people like Hafiz Saeed or Dawood Ibrahim without the clearance from ISI, without the clearance of political establishment, without the clearance and support or facilitation from the Indian High Commission. It is not possible, and therefore the charge is that the government was handling low.
I agree.
And third point.
No, if you agree, what have you done?
Mr. Rao is asking.
If you agree, what have you done?
ISI is rubbing shoulders.
If you agree, what have you done?
ISI is on the same board. ISI is on the same board.
1 minute, let him speak. Kumar Ketkar, continue.
Arnab, Mr. Rao is saying that there are about 13 people there, but those 13 people have not called themselves journalists and they have not met Hafiz Saeed. Only one of the so-called 13-man committee,
it has not come out yet. It has not come out.
Hafiz Saeed.
We don't know. We don't know.
1 minute.
If Mani Shankar Iyer or anybody had met Hafiz Saeed, by now it should have been clear.
No, why?
So it is
How
obvious,
can it be clear?
It is obvious that delegation was used for Mr. Vaidik. To get him out of the delegation and meet Hafiz Saeed. He was definitely, and he has used the word
by the way,
in your interview yesterday as intermediary.
By the way, Mr. Rao, just a minute now. Let him complete.
He was intermediary of
Mr.
whom?
Rao.
Let me raise
He was
questions.
intermediary of whom? And one more point. The interview was actually fortnight ago. Why it was kept secret for
Sir, my question is very simple. You see this government.
Modi has left the country.
No, 1 minute, just a minute. No, Mr. Rao, take a question, Mr. Rao. Mr. Rao, don't behave like Ved Pratap Vaidik. Please take a question. Take a question, Mr. Rao, just a minute.
On the same board as Mani Shankar Iyer.
You are not on a meeting. No, I'm sorry.
Mani Shankar Iyer or any other member has not gone to Hafiz Saeed.
Him there.
No,
They have not gone to Hafiz Saeed.
No. 1 minute. Mr. Narasimha Rao, listen to me.
Without the facilitation from High Commission and the government, it was impossible for Vaidik to meet Hafiz Saeed and conduct 1 hour or 70-minute interview
1 minute.
and pretend as if he was a working journalist.
Okay, 1 minute.
Can I comment?
Mr. Rao, please now, both of you, listen to me, just a minute, Mr. Rao, listen to me.
And ISI.
Mr. Rao, 1 minute, Madhukar Jetli, yes, Madhukar Jetli.
No, why are you overlooking facts?
1 minute, Mr. Rao, let the others come in. Mr. Rao, you're in a soup tonight.
You are overlooking
your government is in a soup of its own making, and nobody is going to let you off on this one. You are the ones who have been lecturing the whole world on terrorism. You go and allow this. You expect us to remain quiet. You say this man is a journalist. Name the newspaper he was representing or the channel he was representing. You would never have done this if you were in the opposition.
Has to explain. It is the Congress.
Madhukar Jetli.
I want to ask you.
Madhukar Jetli is asking you a question.
Board of Governors.
Madhukar Jetli is asking a question.
And look at the members of this.
Let's put them on.
I want to ask the BJP. I want to ask the BJP that whether he was a journalist first or an Indian first. He was not representing the country as a journalist. He was representing India, and if he was an Indian, he had no business to go and interview a person who has been held guilty not only by India, by the United Nations, by the United Kingdom, by the United States, by the European Union, by the Russians and by the Australians. He has been declared as a banned organization. His organization has been declared as a banned organization. And whether Mr. Vaidik, who went there to interview him, whether the BJP is trying to protect him as a journalist, was he journalist first or an Indian first? The kind of attack that he did against the
1 minute.
Indians in Mumbai.
Mr. Rao, let him complete.
Before that,
Mr. Rao, let Mr. Jetli complete.
Before that, let me complete. Mr. Arnab, let me complete. Before that, not only in 2008, this man was arrested in Pakistan by the government of Punjab in Pakistan for the July 2006 Mumbai bombings, and he was released on a Pakistan Lahore court order. He was later on arrested. The day he was released, he was subsequently arrested by the Pakistani government, and then he was released again by the Lahore court. So today he is on release, and he is living under the custody of the Pakistani police.